What do you say, everybody? It's Mick Gillispie, and I'm glad to talk to you here on Bama Insider as we hang out and talk about Alabama's game against Miami and a big win for the Crimson Tide. Guys, I want to talk to you tonight. This is your show, so call at 205-850-0883. And as you hang out and you help build this audience, do me a favor. Hit the like and subscribe button, and know that it's just great to talk to you tonight about this Alabama team. What a win over Miami. I was a little bit shocked at the ease that Alabama won the game with. I mean, as I sit here right now, it's still kind of shocking to me that Alabama was able to go out there with a brand new quarterback and win like that, but that's what happened. And a lot of you guys thought so. You know, I heard your predictions and saw the picks that you had, and I'm like, okay, there's a lot of confidence in Bama Nation, and rightly so. Bryce Young set the record for Alabama starter quarterbacks. He's not a freshman, he's a sophomore, and he threw 4 touchdowns in his first ever start. I look, guys, you have a lot of questions. You can call in right now at 205-850-0883. This is what we do during the season. As you know, we talk about Alabama football, and you guys are welcome to kind of jump on and ask questions. And I want to hear your take on today's game. You know, what did you think, or yesterday's game on tonight's show? What did you think about Alabama? What did you think about the win? What did you think about the offense? Henry To'o, from what I understand, it's a bruised elbow. He's going to be all right. So that's, good news, because I loved this defense. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. I mean, the defense absolutely stifled Miami. Miami was lucky to get the 13 points that they scored. I mean, am I out of turn by saying that? As we hang out here tonight, I'm going to keep an eye on Florida State and Notre Dame. I know that you guys are doing the same thing. But what I want to do is get on here and I just get your comments. That's what this show's all about. So, here we are cranking up again. And in doing this again, look, this is the number, 205-850-0883. Jarvis, great to hear or really see you, man. Like, good to see you again. It's like we haven't hung out in a long time, but we're buddies. And we used to hang out all the time, man. We got busy, and now we're back to doing our thing, and that's watching Alabama football. Comments welcomed as well. Jeremy says, Roll Tide. I'm so glad that the season is here. Hope the Bama family is good on this Sunday evening. I feel the same way, man. I feel the same way. It's just awesome to kind of talk to all you guys and get into what happened in last night's game. I was a little bit shocked, man. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I was a little bit shocked. Let's go to the phone lines and get this call thing going right now and talk about the game. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hunter from Alabama.
Hey, Hunter, what's up, man? I remember you. How you been?
Good. How are you?
Roll Tide, dude. I'm kind of just like, I'm just amazed at how Alabama's able to reload. I just didn't think that it was going to be. I mean, look, I don't know if it was that easy or not, but it looked that way. What'd you think?
Well, let me ask you this. I did not expect our offensive line to be as good as it is. And now it's a small sample size. We're going to face tougher defenses this year, later on in the year. But I think our offensive line did better than I expected.
Well, look, the best thing about the offensive line is this. First off, this is the biggest thing. Evan Neal, right? I mean, you're talking about an anchor. And the fact that they had him to just slide over and take over that left tackle spot kind of just like sets everything up from there. And you knew there were a ton of talented guys who were fighting to get on the field for Alabama. And last year's offensive line might have been the best that Alabama's ever had. If it's not, it's right up there with the 2015 line or 2011. I mean, whatever, man. These guys were elite. But Miami had trouble last year stopping the run, and they had trouble this year stopping the run. So I'm looking at the offensive line, and I'm going, okay, how much of this was Alabama's offensive line, and how much of this was Miami's lack of, being able to tackle and make plays? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, You look at that Miami team and they had all those guys coming back, right? Like they lost like 2 guys on offense and, a handful of guys on defense. They had 19 starters coming back. And Alabama was the team that was inexperienced. It just didn't play out that way.
Yeah. Well, I just thought that in the game, I'm watching that offensive line and I think it held better. Now, Bryce made some adjustments to the coverage. So it might have made it look a little bit better than what it was. We'll have to see. But I do like that about Bryce. That he's very aware when he's in the pocket and making those shifts and making shifts where the rush is coming from and still being able to extend plays. Let's talk about Bryce for a second.
Man,
wow.
I know. Let me hold on. Before you even say anything, let me just flip the Bryce picture on. Boom. There you go. We got to have that on there, right? This guy is just, he's the real deal, man. He is the real deal. When I say this, I'm not being hyperbolic. I've never seen anything like this from a freshman quarterback. Yeah, well, he's a sophomore, but you're right. Like a first-time starter is what you're saying.
But
I got you.
Fresh off of a starting quarterback.
Yeah,
like his first snaps. He got a few in last year, but those were very insignificant snaps. That was when we were winding down the game and mostly handing the ball off.
Yeah. How about him just kind of finding his way, snaking through the line, and then just throwing that bomb, Menchie, and you're like, okay. A new era has started, and it looks a lot like the old era. it was like here's a quick strike to Menchie, and now we just got a whole new group of guys doing the same thing, and that's making big plays and scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, the only criticism I would have about Bryce, this game was there was a couple times in the game where he overthrew the ball, and I don't know what that's due to. I don't know if that was what that is due to, but I did see a few different times where he just overshot the receiver. That one to Trayshawn Holden was a good ball, and Trayshawn just ended up dropping it. The one on the first drive when he overshot Jameson Williams, and then he did the same thing again to Slade Bolden later on in the game. So I don't know if that's just something that needs to be corrected or what, but I don't know if you picked up on that.
Look, I felt like this. It's a guy's first start. I thought he was way better than I anticipated. He led the team. He just had the look. He had the look, right? He just had the look of a guy that was going to go out there and get the job done. And I know he overthrew some passes. Some guys dropped a couple balls, but I'm going to tell you something. He just has it, man. Like this guy has the charisma. He's got the poise. He's got the arm. I mean, I never felt like once that game started that I was looking at a player in his first start. He just seemed like he was just the next guy. And what Alabama's doing right now, Hunter, with these quarterbacks and this offense and this dynasty is amazing. And I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the way, but I'll tell you what, to start the season against a really mature, experienced Miami team and just absolutely whoop them like Alabama did yesterday, and with this guy at quarterback, tells you a lot about where this program is right now.
Yeah, and this defense is back. This is the 2012 defense, 2016 type of defense that we had a few years ago. In my opinion, that 2012 defense was the best defense I've ever seen in college football.
Right.
And I think this defense has the propensity or could have be on that same level as that 2012 defense.
Might be better.
Like our defense.
Might be better. And I'll tell you why.
Is
that Alabama right now, and I hate losing Chris Allen for a little while, sure how long he's going to be out. But this team has amazing depth. And the pass rush on this team is ferocious. They look like a pack of hungry wolves trying to get after the quarterback. It was unbelievable. And we had heard, we knew Anderson was going to be in the backfield, And I'm telling you, every time you turned around, they were back there. Just either they were sacking the quarterback, they were stopping the run, or they were forcing a bad pass. Alabama's defensive line is going to be a force to reckon with. Hunter, man, thanks for calling. And let's do it again next Sunday night. Roll Tide, man.
Yeah, roll Tide, man. Talk to you later.
Great call. Always good to hear from you guys. I'm going back to the phone lines again. I'm going to try to get all you guys in as we talk tonight. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Jeff Stapleton, Selma, Alabama.
Selma, what's up, man?
Nothing. Hey, I want to say first off, that dude's full of it. If he thinks that our offense was going to sputter on the first game of the year, he's freaking crazy is all I got to say. That guy, hey, he don't know damn football is all I got. Man, what the – yeah, that dude's crazy. Man, Alabama's loaded everywhere. And because he threw because Bryce threw two passes that didn't make it, he threw 4 touchdowns. 4.
Hey, and 0 interceptions. 0.
And 0 interceptions, that's right. And he even ran. So I got to look a bit what he's talking about.
Hey, let me say this. To Kendall, thanks for the super chat, man. And I'm agreeing with you. You talk about the Heisman odds right now. Bryce Young's got to be right up there at the top. And I appreciate all you guys for sending the super chats. Look, man, I'll say this. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, Alabama lost a Heisman Trophy winner. They lost 2 of the best receivers they ever had. They lost a first-round pick running back. They lost Mac Jones, a first-round pick. They lost Chance, all those guys on the offensive line. I mean, I thought maybe they would struggle. They didn't struggle at all, man. It was just like Jaleel Billingsley sitting on the sideline watching somebody else score his touchdowns because he's in Saban's doghouse. I mean, it was like it's amazing.
Cameron Latu is a beast. That's all I got to say. Cameron Latu is a beast. You see the way he stepped on that guy?
Yeah, I did.
He pushed him around when he was a little kid.
He flexed on him, didn't he? He flexed on him, didn't he?
He's something else. He ripped in that line. He took that touchdown like with nothing to it. I mean, come on, man. Everybody scored on that team. I mean, Jaleel Billingsley wasn't going to score because he's in hot water with Saban right now. Everybody knows that.
Right. That's
why he wasn't even out there. Yep. What was he out there? 2 plays? He didn't get the ball, did he? Saban's teaching him a lesson. He's showing him you don't have no big head in Alabama. You got to have a level head in Alabama. You play as a team, not as a person. You are not a person. You are a part of a team. That's it.
Right. I think Nick Saban's showing Billingsley that he loves him and that you have to do things the right way to be successful. And I really think that Billingsley is going to be a better person and a better player if he sticks it out and earns that spot back because he's a monster. He's a monster. I mean, like he is a monster. But you know what? It was.
He has talent.
Yep.
But if you don't have the maturity to deal with that talent, then you're not going to be able to play on that team.
Right.
And that's all it is. Saban does not play around when it comes to that. And I'm going to tell you just like this. Miami fans, all y'all running your mouth talking about, the U is back. The U is not back, brother. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, did you hear the rap song? Did you hear that one diss rap song that that the Miami fans put out about Alabama?
Did you see what Coach Coop said afterwards? He said, Alabama whooped us up and down the field, and I'm never making another diss song.
Hey, I was listening to the song and it actually made me laugh. Like I was like, you know what, man? If you're creative enough to like write a rap song on the Alabama Miami game, like, and you're gonna diss Alabama. Okay, you know what? Like I knew it was probably going to happen, but about three or 4 drives in, if I'm that guy, I'm like, okay, maybe I need a new chain. This is not working out for me right now.
Scored on the first play of the game, pretty much. First play of the game.
I know.
Bryce Young, the dude Hunter that was talking about Bryce Young, not missing 2 passes. Come on, what's that? That's what a normal quarterback does when they're kind of nervous a little bit. But he got his ground. He knew what he was doing. He even ran a couple of times.
Hey, so, I like the dual threat guys. No, I'm with you. And I think he was just, saying like, hey, there was I don't know. Look, I'll tell you this. I like in today's football, I like a dual threat guy. When I'm drafting my fantasy teams in the NFL, I like a dual threat guy. Like, I was surprised, honestly, at how amazing Mac Jones was last year. And I told you guys that. How many times did I say, look, I didn't expect this. I like a guy that can run, and I like a guy that can pass. I just think it opens up a lot. And if things aren't going well, hey, look, the guy will just take off. Mac was amazing last year. Bryce Young is exactly the type of quarterback I like on my team, because when you're in that third down situation, he just adds that different element that you have to plan for. The kid's smart. He's a good looking kid. He's got charisma and poise. He just acts like he's been there before. And this guy's only a sophomore. Now it's one game, so we can't get too hyped on him. But I'll tell you what, man, I was so impressed.
One game at a time, I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's one game that he made a statement in, that he showed everybody, because everybody was talking about our offense, saying, "Oh, the O-line's not going to be able to hold up. Bryce is going to crumble under defense, Miami's defense." Come on, man.
Hey,
Did
look,
you watch the game?
I agree. Well, let's answer this together, you and me both. All right, Christian, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to tell you guys that I love doing this show, and I've missed hanging out with you guys, and I'm so glad football's back so that we can get together on Sunday night and we can, shoot together about football, right? All right, that's the first thing I want to say. Second thing I want to do is I'm going to read this right here. Do you think the O-line as a unit will be good to handle Texas A&M and Georgia? Look, Texas A&M, and great question. I watched a little Texas A&M, and I watched all Georgia. And I'm going to tell you right now that Georgia's defensive line is going to be tough. But what's good for Alabama is by the time they see them would be in like maybe the SEC championship or maybe the college football playoff. They'll have molded. They'll have taken the time and work together to figure it out. But I'll tell you, the way that Georgia dominated Clemson last night on the line of scrimmage was amazing to me. And look, Georgia won because of a pick six. It's not like their offense did anything either. Clemson has a great defensive line.
No, they didn't do anything.
But they won the football game, and you have to give them credit for that.
And some other people right now, but hey, it's football. You got to do what you got to do when it comes to winning.
Was it just me? And I want to hear you guys in the comment section as well. And like and subscribe as you hang out. That's how you say Roll Tide. Hit the bell, like and subscribe as we hang out on a Sunday night. Was it just me, or did Georgia act like they won the national championship last night? I'm watching the end of the game, and I'm like, hey, act like you've been there before. Like, just act like you've been there before. You won 7-3. You didn't even do anything. You didn't even do anything. Like,
no.
Act like you did. Just act like you've been there.
I understand that. It was 10-3. I understand that. But the offensive level for Georgia right now, if they played Alabama right now, we would freaking kill them. And that's the truth.
Hey, we'd score on them. They'd have to get more than that pick six.
Just like that. I know they got a defense. I understand that. But we got an offensive line that'll hold people back.
I think so.
Bryce Young had 10 seconds to throw the ball yesterday. 10 seconds. That's unheard of in football.
Yep. Well, look, final comment. I got to get back and get some other people on the show. Great to hear from you, though, man. Anything else before I get back on?
Always good to talk to you, Nick. Always good to talk to you.
You too, man. Great to hear your voice.
Like I said, man, it's awesome. I want to get you, but it's the Texas A&M game. By the time Alabama gets to the Texas A&M game, which is the sixth game of the year, their offense will be elite.
I think so.
So elite under Saban and O'Brien's tutoring that when they do play Texas A&M who?
Hey, Texas A&M better be ready. Hey, you're right. Thank you. Roll Tide, my friend.
That's all I got to say. Roll Tide,
right,
baby.
next Sunday. I want to hear it from you again next Sunday. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. And look, if any of you guys are calling in at 205-850-0883, I'm going to try to get all of you in tonight because it's great to just be back here talking Alabama football with my friends on Bama Insider. Like and subscribe as you hang out. Who's this and where are you calling from?
What's up, Mick? It's Parker from Pensacola.
What's up, dude? Man, it's good to hear you too. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Can I say Roll Tide? I know
Football
Kyle
is
hates it
back.
when I get too Alabama-ish because I'm supposed to be a professional, and I am. But I'm going to tell you something, Parker. I was just so amazed at how Alabama rolled Miami because I have a lot of respect for Miami, but last night Miami got killed.
I want to talk about that Clemson game. Yes, I mean, Clemson just 3 points.
Yeah, they look terrible.
3 points for I was just like, yes. Like, I don't know. It just kind of gets boring when it's just Alabama, Clemson. I mean, don't you think?
Look, I want to beat those guys. Like, I want to beat Clemson because I've been to 3 national championship games and another playoff game. And look, I'm a Dabo guy, man. I mean, I remember meeting Dabo in the locker room at Alabama way back in the day. He was a real estate guy. I really like the guy. I have a lot of respect for him. I think he's a good dude. But you know what? I'm an Alabama guy, and as long as he's in Clemson, then he's a Clemson guy. You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
So I mean, like, it's not that I'm torn. I mean, look, I'm always going to pick Alabama over anybody, but I know that he's pretty legit. He's won a couple championships. He's always in the mix. I think this has got to be Kirby's year, Parker. I think if Kirby does not get it done this year, then they're going to be really upset there because they've had the recruiting classes. They've put the money into the program. And they found ways to lose to Alabama in the big game. They haven't had a great track record in the big games. And then this one, you know what? They won. I didn't think they played extremely well. I thought their offense looked pretty pedestrian. Like, I'm still waiting for them to kind of figure out what they're doing as far as like taking the next step, Georgia. I've told you guys, how many times have I said this? They remind me of that Brad Paisley song, Old Alabama. Like, I know it's about that he's singing about the Alabama group from Fort Payne, but he just reminds me of the Alabama that he left in Tuscaloosa when he took the Georgia job on offense. It's just the same old offense. Like, I'm just going to try to but it doesn't win. Controlling the clock and all that stuff doesn't win. You got to score points. And that's not what they do. They don't score points, but their defense is pretty elite this year.
Exactly, and I'm just so excited football's back. It's been a long year, and I liked last year when we had this whole SEC schedule. What do you think about playing these, like, I don't want to call them no-name teams because Nick Saban would kick my butt, but like Mercer next week, like, yeah. I mean, but I do. You remember that Alabama, the year that we played Louisiana Monroe and lost?
Oh, look, I was at the game, and I was in the luxury box. I was in the one of the luxury boxes with Greg McElroy's dad. I remember him being in there. I talk about on my Friday night show, Cheryl Yingling. She got me the ticket. She went to school with us at Alabama. And got me a ticket into the box, and it was great. And then, I had a lot to drink. I wasn't doing a post-game show that night. And all of a sudden, I'm like, that reality check. We're like, hey, man, we're going to lose to these guys. I'm like, hey, I need another drink right now. I can't believe what's happening right now. But you know what? That was the Shula guys, man. This is a different animal with Saban. If you beat Alabama now, you know what you did. You beat Alabama. They don't normally beat themselves. Then the championship game against Clemson out in California, they beat themselves. But normally it's just the other team has a great game.
Who do you think, in your opinion, I mean, like coach-wise, do you think Nick Saban is going to, like, I don't want to say pass Bear Bryant, but, like, how would you and I know he doesn't like using the word compare.
Right.
But Saban and Bear, what would you –
Parker, I'm glad you asked me this. I'm the guy on this channel to ask this too, because I remember I'm the guy who remembers Gene Stallings, which was the Bear protege. I remember being at Alabama when we used to talk about how great things must have been when Bear Bryant was coaching, when we were losing to Mississippi State. We couldn't beat Auburn, when we lost to Tennessee, and lost to Tennessee every single year. And I remember like researching the Bear. I remember when I was on the college radio station learning about the Bear, just Ray Perkins and all that stuff. I have an enormous amount of respect for Bear Bryant. I think Bear Bryant is exactly what Tuscaloosa and what the state of Alabama is all about. It's what the University of Alabama is all about. I think Bear Bryant leaves an amazing legacy. He was the best in his time, but I can't say this in a way that I'm not disrespecting Bear Bryant. Saban's the best that's ever done this job. He's just the best that's ever done it. Bear Bryant didn't win like this. Bear Bryant won, but he didn't win like this. But you know what? Bear Bryant is awesome. And he's great, but no one's been ever better than what Nick Saban's done. Nick Saban won a national championship at old crappy LSU. Look at what their program is now. And guys, we could get into that all night, but I don't even want to waste my time talking about them, the embarrassment that they put on down in Pasadena. And I'm tired of the excuses about it's Hurricane Ida, it's this and that. You know what? It's that Ed Orgeron doesn't deserve the job. He's not good enough, and they need to go on and just hire Joe from Carolina to take that head coaching job to try to win again. They stink. Nick Saban is in contention for a national championship, Parker, every single year. I mean, he is driven like a human is normally not driven. He gets a ring, he puts it down, he doesn't want to look at it anymore. He wants to focus on the next thing. And he builds this program that way. Since 2008, Alabama has been in the mix for a championship every single year, which is amazing. It's amazing, man. Like what Nick Saban is doing, like there's nothing against Bear Bryant. We still love Bear Bryant. I got a signed Bear Bryant picture on my wall in my house. I love the guy. I love Bear Bryant. But you know what? What we're seeing right now is the greatest era of college football as far as dominance goes in the history of the game. And you know what? Nick Saban can't go out and just sign everybody. He can't take guys from other teams by signing them. He's got all these restrictions and rules. The players, look, they're all out worried about like making money and all this, which I don't blame them. And they should have let him do this a long time ago, but it's not the same animal that Bear Bryant was dealing with. And he just keeps on winning. I can't even believe how good Nick Saban is. I just can't believe it. It's unbelievable.
Oh my! But I'm just so glad it's back, and I'm so glad that y'all are back on the air. And hey, shameless plug: if you're ever over in the Pensacola area and you're looking for good pizza, Sky's Pizza Pie. I'm one of the dishwashers there, but we do New York style pizza. So if you're ever in the area,
yeah, where's that at? I'm gonna come by and surprise you one day. Where is that?
North Davis Highway in Pensacola. I mean, we're on YouTube. I don't mind giving up that.
No, go ahead, man. I don't care. How close is that to the baseball stadium? That's normally where I'm at when I'm there.
5559 North Davis Highway.
Okay. Well, look, Parker, I'm going to come by there and try that. And if it's New York style pizza that you guys make, it's New York style pizza that I'm going to come in there and eat. Roll Tide, my friend. It's great to hear your voice again.
Can you send me a request on Facebook or something?
Yeah, dude. I mean, any of you guys that are listening, I'm on Facebook. I would love to have you on there as friends. What's your last name?
All right, it's Sington, Sington.
I'll look you up. And if not,
okay,
find me.
Sky's Pizza Pie on there.
Yeah. Hey, great to talk to you, Parker. Roll Tide, my friend.
Roll Tide. Have a great night.
You too. Let's go right back to the phone lines again. I'm going to get all of you guys in, so I want you to be patient as we hang out. We watch Notre Dame and Florida State. Who is this, and where are you calling from?
It's Demetrius from North Carolina.
Hey, what's up, man? Are you on the road right now, or are you at home?
I'm at home right now.
I know, but you travel. I know you do.
I'm still trucking.
Still trucking?
Just sitting here relaxing on my day off.
Telling you, man, it's so good to hear from all of you guys right now. Roll Tide, my friend.
Roll Tide. That this is the most prepared. This is the most prepared team I ever seen Nick Saban had on the first game of the year in some years, and I believe everything coming in to full fruition as far as the coaching, players sticking around, development of players compared to what I've seen in other college football teams. Hey, we are cut above everybody.
Yeah, look, what I saw in that game yesterday, it just tells me that Alabama has figured something out here when it comes to their ability to get guys who have watched for a year to get in there and take over and pick up right where everybody left off. Like the process, man. He calls this the process, Demetrius. He calls that, and it is the process. The guys who are patient and wait for their opportunity, they get paid off by stepping in. And I mean, look, I felt bad for Jaleel Billingsley because he's one of my favorite players, right? And I'm watching like this team roll without a beast in the middle, and I'm thinking, get it figured out, man. Listen to what the coach is telling you. He's going to make you a multimillionaire, and you just need to do it. If he's telling you to show up to class, to be on time, he's teaching you all these things because he likes you. Because if he didn't like you, he would just kick you out. You would just be gone, right? And the fact that these guys buy in is the reason why Alabama just continues to just whoop people's butts like they did last night.
Yeah, correct. And then you got to think about it between the transfer portal and coaches leaving. I mean, no other program could do this. And Nick Saban is a constant there. And I keep an eye on the team middle of the year, and I'll be able to. I mean, from my own evaluation, see how far they'll probably make it compared to the competition. But hey, we ain't skipped a beat, from last year. All summer long, what we gonna do? I mean, we go through this. I mean, the team go through this every year. What they gonna do? They lost this, lost that, and every year what? We're in the hunt for the national championship.
Yep.
Every year.
Yeah.
What you mean? What Alabama gonna do? They're gonna do exactly what they do every year. And hey, I know a couple of people from Georgia. They done called me already. Yeah, we ready for you. Look, hey, man, come, let's pump your brakes now. This is, come. I know one of my buddies I was in the military with here, LSU fan. Well, hey, look, man, I told you y'all caught lightning in the bottle with LSU. So Joe Brady gonna be the next coach, okay? And once Nick Saban figure him out, he's gonna run him out of college football like he run the rest of the coaches out of college football.
How long until Joe Brady's head coach at LSU? How much longer are we gonna have to watch? Hold on, you know what? Let me play something for you. You know what? I'm gonna play this for you because I know you're gonna appreciate this. Okay, you and me. Everybody else just hang out with us. I'm gonna play this from a man in North Carolina who's normally on the road, but he's at home tonight. And I want all you guys to watch this because I want you to watch what a buffoon looks like in action.
Right in the middle of the field. Everybody. Hey, we've been waiting for this moment, man. Let's go. Right here in the middle of the damn field. Let's break it down. Take it on three. Hell yeah. Because this is our house from now on. Yes, sir. Take it on three. 1, 2, 3. Take it.
Wasn't that a good year, 2019, for those guys?
Yeah, very excellent. It was very excellent. That's
yeah. And you win for the first time in 10 games or 9 games, and you go out on the middle of the field and you look like an idiot. And the guy who was the guy who made it all happen left, and guess what? You're getting run over every week. I mean, that LSU that game last night, it wasn't that LSU lost to UCLA. It's just the way that they lost. They got beat at the line of scrimmage. Their defense didn't know where they were going. I mean, This is our house, he said. Okay, dude, come on.
Like I told my buddy, when David Randall left, that was a key mainstay for if he would have he stopped LSU from being mediocre years ago. If David Randall would have left earlier, they would have been mediocre. He just never did have the offense to complement him. Just in 2019, he did, and by him leaving, hey, they don't know what valuable piece they lost when they let him go. Well, when he chose to take head coaching job.
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy like Ed Orgeron kind of lucked into the right situation, and now LSU's kind of like, I mean, they're back in the days when honestly, when I was in school, like they're a 7-5, 6-6 team. They're no good. They don't tackle. They don't block, Don't tell me that the Hurricane it cost you. You know what? It's not that you just didn't tackle. You didn't cover, right? I mean, look, this is our house. Okay, all right. I think that Joe Brady will be head coach if he wants the job probably sooner than most of us think. And and I see Garrett, you put up a post about LSU. They got a lot of problems off the field too. They got a lot of problems that Ed not winning is going to make it a lot easier to get him out of there.
Correct. But as far as Joe Brady, I mean, hey, he's just gonna join the list of folks that, I mean, with Lincoln Riley and Steve Sarkisian, he just add one more to the list that Nick Saban gonna dominate. Hey, I mean, I just call it like I see it.
Yeah,
I mean,
no doubt.
Well, I mean, it's a lot more to being a coordinator versus being a head coach.
Yeah, man, no doubt. Well, one more comment, and then I'm going to go back to the phones. Great to hear your voice, though, man. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. And my last comment is, will we please stop doubting Coach Nick Saban? He's always going to put the best product out there on the field, and give Coach Pete Golden a break. Roll Tide.
Yeah, Roll Tide. Look, Demetrius, they're not even worried about Pete Golden. All the critics of Pete Golden I don't hear from him anymore. I mean, he has proved himself. I think he's in good standing with all of us, but last year at this time, people were worried. Back to the phones again. Who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Robert from Mobile.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, as far as Pete Golden goes, you want the critic silence, you have to do something to silence him. And people were criticizing me. I was going to call myself a Pete Golden critic last year. But it wasn't in a vacuum. I mean, we were critiquing what we saw.
We wanted to see what we see now. It was time to get it figured out, right?
What do you say?
I said that we wanted to see what we're seeing now. It was just time to get it figured out.
Right. It's, well, okay, when are you going to figure it out? So we were concerned about it. Because it was 2 years in a row.
Right. That
we were seeing guys looking to the sidelines, waiting for plays, no speed in the linebacking core. That was when Auburn, when Bo Nix was looking like a good quarterback against our defense.
Man,
we lost
and you're going to do that.
Okay, that's
tonight.
when we were getting. Yeah.
Bo Nix got so lucky, man.
That's what we were complaining about.
That one throw, he floated it over the dude's head, and another guy just came in and caught it. I think they made a mistake firing Gus, because Gus just gave us, I don't know, man. Every once in a while, he just gave us some trouble, but we don't have to worry about him anymore. No, I'm with you. Look, I'm just saying it's like what Alabama is doing on defense right now is crazy, man. Like that defense was, and look, a lot of you guys on the message board, you want to know about Chris Allen. They said it was a significant foot injury. It could be ligaments, could be a broken bone. I don't know what the situation is. I hate it because, I mean, he was in the backfield causing turmoil and havoc, and he got hurt. And it didn't even look like it was much of a play, but that's the crazy thing about sports, man. Sometimes it's just you hit your foot the wrong way, you hit your knee the wrong way, you hit your elbow the wrong way. The good thing is that look, they'll get him back at some point, and then To'o, who I'm honestly is one of my favorite Alabama players already. A bruised elbow. I'm from what I understand, he's going to be back, so he'll be all right.
Yeah, and like with going back to Pete Golden for a second, it was like if Will Reichert was missing everything, kicking.
Yeah,
we criticized it, and all of a sudden he turns into Will Reichert. Well, the criticism changed because you changed.
Man, right.
The early criticism was valid. Is you changed, so there's no reason to criticize because you got better.
Yeah,
and we'll see about Pete Golden. It's one game. We'll see if it. We think we got the personnel to continue this. I believe we do. But, my criticism will change if he changes. If right now it looks good, if he changes, then the criticism changes. Oh, I disagree with one of your callers earlier. He said if Alabama, by the time Alabama plays Texas A&M, we will be an elite offense. I know what you meant by that.
Yeah, but I know what you're going to say, though.
Dude, we are already an elite offense.
I knew you were going to say that. Hey, look, after watching that Clemson-Georgia game, you're going, okay, we got something figured out here. Yeah,
it's hard to believe that, that you can be we could even utter the same syllables as this offense may be just as good as last year's. But after watching Bryce Young, that's something that's achievable for this offense right now. I can't say better. I never think any offense is better than last year's offense for Alabama because that was just unbelievable. But, we all expected a step back, but the step back maybe just a half step versus a full step back from the last year. The last year was just all-time great. It's hard to repeat an all-time great with another all-time great.
Yeah.
But, the step back, maybe we think it's going to just be a half step or maybe just a little shuffle back and not even a step because of how well, like you said earlier, Bryce Young, how he looked, he just looked like he was the starter last year. He looks like, this is what you would have got last year had you put me in there.
Right.
I'm already an Alabama starter. It just you just didn't see it last year. You just didn't know it last year. Look, I know it now.
Doesn't he just seem like that guy you went to school with and you're like, man, I don't know what the teacher was talking about. And he's like, oh, look, man. And then can explain the crap that the teacher was trying to tell you in a way where it's really easy to that smart guy that you went to school with, like, oh, look what he's saying is this, like he just, I don't know him. I've never met him, but he just seems like one of those guys that's able to take information, process it, and just explain it to everybody. I mean, he just seems like a really smart, intelligent guy. I love look, the thing about being an Alabama grad is when these guys come off the field and they talk and they just seem like they're like, Rhodes Scholars. I love that. I just love it. Just being a guy who went to school and graduated there and walked that stage. I'm always proud of these guys for what they're able to accomplish. But when you get someone like this, where it's like, man, this guy, he's got it all, man. He's got the athletic ability, good looking kid. He's making money now. And then he just, he's going to be hanging out with us. Like he's going to get done this. And then we're going to have him on TV somewhere, when he's done playing football. Like he's just going to be up here talking about football, like he's kind of like the guy, what was the guy's name? The Dallas Cowboy quarterback that's on TV all the time now. There's kind of like
Troy Aikman.
Troy, but what's the other guy? Tony.
Dak?
Tony
Romo.
Tony Romo. Yeah, Tony Romo. Like where it's just like Tony Romo just like stepped into the booth and he's just the best guy now. He's just the best guy.
John Madden.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like he's he's like, you're exactly right. He's like this generation John Madden. I like Troy, but Tony Romo he's special, right? Just intelligent. He's smart, good looking, just has the package,
Well, the way he talks, he feels like an everyman,
right?
Like Madden did.
Right.
Another thing about Bryce is he has not hit his ceiling yet.
No,
there is still room to improve.
Yeah.
People point out to some missed passes early on. Well, hey, that's where Mac Jones was. That's where Tua was.
Yeah.
That's where Jalen was after that first game. And those guys grew into the role and improved afterward. And this is him where just a little raw. Imagine when he gets down to the time with receiver number one, I can't think of his name, but when he did it on that 94-yard pass, once he gets in sync with that guy,
Williams,
learning his speed and knowing where to put the ball every time.
Hey, I mean, how crazy? Just how crazy is it when you saw that play from the end zone, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I guess that's a touchdown. You know, I mean, honestly, man, I was not expecting this. I thought it would be a grinded out game. I thought the offense would probably struggle a little bit. I thought the defense would be dominant. And I don't know if you saw my Friday show, which airs on radio Saturday in Alabama, but we recorded on Friday night here. And I said, look, give me Miami in the 22. I mean, like I felt like 22 at Pearl River Resort was what the line was. I thought, well, 22. I mean, that's 3 touchdowns and a point. That line for me stunk by the middle of by the second quarter. By the middle of the second quarter, I'm like, I lost.
Well,
I
just lost. Listen to Devontae. What Devontae said. Devontae said they win by 30.
I know. But I mean, like, I'm always just kind of, like I'm a little bit pessimistic on this stuff, like I'm just like, hey, these are tough teams. Like that Miami team brought back everybody. And they might play for the ACC championship when it's all said and done. But Alabama swamped them yesterday, unbelievably.
And he's already brought it up to the top of the Heisman race, early in the season. Yeah. But you watch everybody this past week, and nobody was anywhere near as impressive as Bryce Young. No. Not even close. Mm-mm. None of the other so-called Heisman candidate quarterbacks. They had really mediocre to, in some cases, bad games. Yeah. But Bryce, he just outshone them all by a country mile. Yep. And so that's going to, that name, image, and likeness is getting a lot brighter for him right now. Oh, real quick, I know some of these other games too. Georgia's defense looks absolutely scary. I mean, it does look scary. Yep. I think my prediction, here's a bold prediction: Alabama and Georgia will play twice this season. Once in the SEC championship game and once in the playoffs.
You're right. Well, final comment. I got to get back to the phones, man. Great to hear from you again, man. This has been so much fun. I've missed all you guys, and I can't wait to do this every Sunday like we always do.
All right, buddy. Great talking with you too.
Hey, roll Tide. Hey, let's go back to the phone lines again. And as you guys hang out with us, like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, hit the bell. That's how you say Roll Tide on the show, 205-850-0883. Who's this and where you calling from?
Yes, Mr. Gillispie. This is Jarvis calling in from Texas.
What's up, Jarvis? Good to talk to you, man.
Long time no talk.
I know, dude. Like, I know. I feel like it's like when you have like those family barbecues and you're like, man, I haven't seen you in forever. Like your cousin comes up, here's your aunt you haven't seen. Hey, this is my wife. This is my kid. I missed you guys. I mean it genuinely. Like when Kyle and I were like getting the show together today, I'm like, man, I'm thinking in my mind, like, this is going to be great. I hope all you guys show up. I had my fingers crossed that I would hear from all of you guys. And Jarvis, is great to hear from you. What'd you think about the game, man? Jump in.
First of all, what a huge win. And like you said, I wasn't expecting that. I figured we would win, but so handily, so easily was a shock. And I think I do have a new favorite player on the team already.
Who's that?
Jameson Williams. That guy is big time. Like he's gonna be huge for us this year.
Oh, you like that bomb he caught, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, Jameson Williams, JW, he reminded me of a little bit of Jalen Waddle with that speed and that breakaway playmaking ability he had. I feel like he's like the next coming of Jalen Waddle in a way from how he looked in that touchdown pass.
Yeah. Look, well, when Alabama got him, I was thinking like, how does Ohio State like let that guy walk? Like maybe they have all these receivers and they didn't need him. Whatever happened, I'm so glad that we got him here on the Alabama roster in Tuscaloosa, because you're right. I mean, it just gives you got all of this talent at the wideout spot, but it just gives you a little bit of experience. And you know what? You also need that guy who can say, hey, man, I know what it's like being somewhere else, and I know how important it is to do things like Coach is telling us. He's telling us because being the best takes hard work and all of the other stuff. And I felt like that. I just think that he's probably that guy.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more, Mick. And going back to the Jaleel Billingsley situation, I think it was pretty funny because when he actually did finally get into the game, the first play, Coach Saban made him block the backside linebacker on a play that, had nothing to do with him. It just goes to show, like, you're going to have to earn your way back. Even when you get in the game, I'm going to make you block. I'm not throwing you a pass right away. You have to earn these receptions as well. So I thought that was a good learning lesson for Jaleel as well.
He's one of my favorites. I mean, and I predicted that he would have a big game, and it wasn't him, but we had a big game from the linebackers. I think he's going to be all right. Like I think that he'll probably be. What I hope he doesn't do is transfer. I hope he sticks it out. I hope he wears it. I hope he becomes the leader that Nick Saban's pushing him because he loves him. This isn't like a dislike thing. This is you're going to make a lot of money in life, and you got to know how to handle it. It's more than just you're late to a meeting or, you did this or that. This is more like, look, you need a life lesson, and you got to figure out that if you're going to be successful in life, there's a lot more to it than just catching the football. It's about being a pro. It's about being, on time and doing. And I don't know what the situation is, but I just got a feeling. I mean, I've been to college. Look, I know I slept through classes. I did. There's stuff that I look back at, but I also wasn't playing football at Alabama. So Jaleel's just got so much talent. So I'm pretty confident that he's eventually going to be the monster that we all kind of expect him to be.
Yeah, I think so too. And if anything, it just kind of increases our depth because it does, establish Cameron Love too as a viable option as well. So
what about the game he had? What about the game he had though? And did you see all the guys like tweeting about every time he scored? Like they were just going nuts, like Mac Jones and Najee and all those guys, like Smitty. Like they must really like him.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, speaking of that, like, I like the overall chemistry of the team, too. I think Bryce is a good face of our team. I mean, I love his charisma. I love his personality. I mean, I know the team loves him because, he backs it up on the field. He leads by example, and I love those qualities that he has. And I like the overall vibe of this team. I think we will, go far this year. And I like how our schedule lays out as well. Mercer's our next game. So it's kind of like tough game, easy game, tough. It kind of lays out like that to kind of let us, get our bearings straight until we kind of reach Texas A&M and Florida and kind of some of our tougher matchups down the year as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I like Bryce too.
And I guess I'm sorry. I'm at work right now, so I do have one more thought, Nick. But,
throw it out there.
And I'll leave you with this one thought. I think it was so funny, the sequence last night when Miami went for it on 4th and 1, got stuck. We got the ball, 94-yard TD with a personal foul, rubbing the passer on top. With that sequence, I know that just put any nail in the coffin yesterday. That one sequence was just a nightmare for Miami.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'll tell you, Jarvis, when those dudes were talking, I heard that. My radio show comes on Saturday at 9:00 in the morning, and what we recorded, you guys know, we recorded here on Friday night. So I was listening to the show on ESPN before that, and I heard them playing that Miami dude, like that smack talk rap song. And the dude looked like Vanilla Ice. And I'm just like, okay, man, like, and he had the chain on and everything. I'm like, okay, like, I gave him. I'm like, look, if you want to do that, and then you saw the game, so
they had so much confidence going into the game as well. Like you said, all the experience. Like, I mean, Nick Saban has beaten some teams, great teams in his era. As great as we've beaten some all-time great teams that would have done more had they not had to play us. An all-time great team. So
look, they didn't have Ed Reed.
Us,
they had Ed Reed, but he was a coach. They didn't have Ray Lewis. They didn't have Warren Sapp. They didn't have Miami used to be just a turn belt of guys. It's not like that anymore. Jarvis, man, thanks for calling in. Good to hear from you.
All right, thank you too, Mick. Roll Tide, and I can't wait to talk to you again next week.
Let's do it next week, man. See ya. All right, back to the phone lines again as we hang out. I'm glad that all of you guys have kicked it with us tonight. Thumbs up, subscribe as you hang out on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, 205-850-0883. We're talking Alabama, Miami. This is the final, we're closing the book on this, but we're just going to enjoy it. I mean, we're in the 24-hour window right now. All right, who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Quan calling from New Orleans, man.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing, Mick? I don't know if you remember me from last year, man.
No, I do. I do, man. Look, it is great to hear from all of you guys. Well, let me ask you this right off the bat. You know, I live in Fairhope, so I got the band of Ida. How did you guys survive? I mean, we've been praying for you guys and thinking about you down there. It looked like that hurricane sat on you for a minute.
Yeah, it did, Mick. To be honest with you, we made it back home yesterday. I missed the entire game. I didn't see the game at all. I had to come home and rewatch it. I was on the road traveling, actually from Atlanta. I evacuated last Saturday.
Really?
To Atlanta, and we came home yesterday. Our power came on yesterday morning, so we got up and left. I wasn't too happy about it. I told my wife I really want to stay and watch the game, and you know how that go. I ended up getting on the highway yesterday morning, and I missed the entire game. So I had to come home and rewatch it. And we made out all right. Like I said, my house, few shingles off the roofs, a lot of, trees and debris, but nothing major. Thank God for that. Everybody's alive. And we made it through.
And look, the levee system, the levee system that they put together after Katrina paid off. And people were telling me that this one was bigger than Katrina. And I was like, I argued for a while, and then they're right. Like, this one was bigger, but they had it, they just had everything kind of planned out. So, thank God, man. I'm glad to hear that.
The levees held up, man. And like I said, they had a few places that didn't have levees around them. That's the places y'all see on TV, like La Plaza and Homer. Those are the places that don't have levee protection. They got pretty much destroyed and wiped out. But the city of New Orleans, we just had a lot of power outages.
I love the city of New Orleans. It is honestly one of my favorite places. And, I'm from Baltimore, so I know about seafood and all that. So New Orleans is my southern Baltimore, man. I'll tell you that right now. But look, let's talk about this football game. What did you think when you went and rewatched it? I know you had to enjoy that.
Mick, first things first, I heard him talking about P. Golden. I don't know if you remember. I was a little critical of him last year. It looks like we got a defense now.
Yeah.
It looks like we got a defense. Like Coach said, it got a little sloppy at the end when we put the 2s and 3s there, but when the 1s was out there, it was pretty much domination.
Oh, it was, man.
What I seen when I came. It was domination, and I couldn't be more happy about that. And just the team, man. I mean, this kid Jameson Williams out of Ohio State. I mean, I feel like him and Mechie it's going to be Devontae Smith and Waddle all over again, man. This kid Jameson Williams, I don't know how Ryan Day let him get out the house. I know he was behind Olave and a few other guys, but the way he's playing, he looks like to me like he got a chip on his shoulder. Like, y'all might have let the wrong one get out the building. I don't know. It seems like, man, this offense is clicking. Bryce Young is everything that we thought and everything Bone told us about him.
Yeah, he did.
It's true.
It is.
Everything Bone told us about him is true, and it was just amazing. I want to see that offensive line get a little bit more shored up. I know they put Chris Owens at tackle. I didn't know what that came. I guess that was a surprise too, because I thought he was going to start at center. And they had him at tackle, and but overall the game plan. I mean, we ain't lost a beat, man. I told my son, he's a diehard LSU fan. I told him, I said, man, I don't see nobody beating Alabama. From what I seen yesterday, Mick, from Ohio State Friday to Oklahoma playing for their life against Tulane. Tulane gave Oklahoma a dog fight yesterday.
I saw it. That was one of the games I watched, and for all of you guys that are, into gambling, and I'm on this new college sports book, so I got to watch all of these games. I was really surprised that Tulane hung in there like that. But it was a good game. Like, they played
there.
well. I'll tell you what, LSU is a joke right now, man. I mean, that's just embarrassing. I can't even believe how bad they are.
It's a dumpster fire, and I agree with you, Mick. It won't be long for Joe Brady be in there if he wants. I don't know. He comes up under Sean Payton in the Saints, so he might have bigger aspirations than taking on LSU. But then again, it's LSU, it's the SEC. He can't turn that down. But he comes up under Sean Payton, the head coach of the Saints. He might just want to be an NFL head coach. But I don't think if Odom go 4-8, or I only got him winning 4 games. Nick, the 3 tune-ups and maybe Mississippi State. Everybody else, I don't think LSU going to beat everybody else.
LSU had better players at every position last night and just got run out of the building. I mean, I took LSU. I thought, hey, look, last year was an anomaly. They're going to come in there. They're going to do this and that. Look, the thing that bothered me the most is that they at the line of scrimmage, they got their butts kicked. It was watching them getting the tight end, that long-haired tight end guy that was open every single play. I'm going, I mean, at some point, honestly, it reminded me when Mike Dubose was coaching Alabama and Jason Witten was open every play for Tennessee. And you're going, okay, at some point, are we going to cover him? They're going to roll out and throw it to him.
We're going to cover him.
And we never did. We just didn't figure it out. It's same thing, man. Same thing.
They looked at bad, man, and you got. They keep talking about this kid, Derek Stingley. I'm wanting to believe that we got the best cornerback in Josh Jobe. I don't think it's Derek Stingley no more. The last 2 primetime games we seen Derek Stingley on, he's been getting ate up alive.
Hey,
so I don't think he's the number 1 cornerback no more. I think it's Josh Jobe.
Right. What about Sage Ryan? Remember we were recruiting him, 5-star, like whatever, and he went there. Do you think that guy's like whoever told him to go there or whatever he got to go to school there or whatever happened for him to go to school there? What a dummy. I mean, come to Alabama, man, play on a winning team. Yeah. You're a great player. And then you're going to be out there where your linebackers are looking at each other and they're going, man, I don't even know. And then the tight end's wide open again. I just feel sorry for him because you come into Alabama, you might sit a little bit, but when it's your time, it's your time. What's going on at LSU right now is you have a top 5, top recruiting class every single year, and you know what? You guys stink. You stink. Like you should be. That's unacceptable. I mean, look at the rest of the teams that recruit in the top 5. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Clemson, and then them, right? And they did win the championship a couple of years ago. But since they won that championship, they're like a bottom feeder now. Yeah,
they're the bottom feeder. I only got them winning 4 games. I got them winning those 3 cupcakes and maybe Mississippi State. Everybody else, they got to go to Kentucky, Florida, Texas A&M, us. They got Ole Miss. And I think the wheels is gonna come off the car, man. I think O's gonna be gone if they go 4-8 again this year. I think he might be gone.
I think he's gone anyway. I think it has to do with the Geis situation and the fact that he doesn't have any control. Also, I mean, I never looked at him and thought, you know what, this is the kind of guy that I would want to have running my company. I don't know. I'm just not impressed with him. I mean, and he's got a championship, but this is the Ed O that I thought they were getting, that they were lucky enough to get Brady, and Joe Brady's probably, like you said, if he wants a job, I'm sure LSU is probably calling him right now going, hey man, if you want this job, we can, bring in your guys. Let's do this.
And let's not forget, man, because I know you never let us forget that celebration he did at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Oh, you want to watch it? You want to watch it right now with me?
No, he pissed Coach off with that. So when we see him every time, we putting up at least 50 on him.
Oh, yeah. Let's watch it together one more time. We've watched it once. I mean, after that embarrassment last night, you and me, just everybody else just kind of hang out with us. We got to watch this because you guys know.
Right in the middle of the field. Everybody. Hey, we've been waiting for this moment, man. Let's go. Right here in the middle of the damn field. Let's bring it down. Tigers on 3. Hell yeah. Because this is our house from now on. Yes, sir. Tigers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Tigers.
That guy.
Right?
Man, that guy right there.
Yeah, that guy right there. So we're gonna put it on him, man. I just think you got all these people, man, all off season, all we've been hearing is Alabama gonna take a step back. They lost too much. And I think yesterday, I know it's only week 1, but I think Bryce Young came out and put that to rest.
Look, Bryce Young is the real deal. And
he's the real deal.
He's the real deal, and I don't even think we've seen the best of the run game. Right. I thought we saw a little glimpse of what McClellan's going to be about. Brian, I thought Brian Robinson, I thought Brian Robinson had a really good game for him, Roydell Williams.
He runs angry.
He does. And he has to. And he has to, because there's 3 guys behind him that are better than him. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So for him to stay the starting guy, what I love about Robinson is watching him block on every play, watching the way he does everything right. So, you know what? Is he explosive? He's okay, but he doesn't fumble the ball. He knows what to do when it comes to the blocking. He's great. He does all of the little things right. The problem is that, you got guys behind him that are just, they're ready. They're chomping at the bit, Trey's going to be ready to touch the ball some more. So he's just got to keep his game up,
Yeah. We ready, Mick. And I gotta throw Kirby in there. Every year, Mick, maybe for the last 3 or 4 years, he tends to let this narrative get out that this is their year. This is their year. Well, and I know this year it's all JT Daniels, what he's going to do. But last night, we seen what JT Daniels looked like in front of a stout defense.
Right.
We seen what he looked like in front of a stout defense.
He's not explosive.
We seen what he looks like, and I don't understand it for the life of me how every year Kirby wants this narrative. At least when our coach put a narrative out there, Mick, it stands up to what he said it's going to be.
Yep.
The last 3 or 4 years with Tua and Mac, Tua and Mac came out there and they delivered on, okay, our offense is going to be high power. Kirby lets this narrative get out every year that this is their year. This is their year. We're going to do it. JT Daniels is going to do this. Well, we've seen JT Daniels. I know it's only week 1. All the Georgia fans, they're going to have a heart attack. It's only week 1, but we've seen JT Daniels in front of a stout defense.
Yeah.
He didn't look like the JT Daniels. Now, of course.
Hey, he scored 3 points. Didn't he? He got 3.
Yeah. He got 3 points. But you and I both know now, Mick, for the next 8 or 9 weeks, he's going to go on a tear against the Vanderbilts, the South Carolinas, the Tennessees, the Kentuckys, the Missouri. But put him in front of a stout defense. We've seen what he can do last year. So I'm not buying this Georgia mess. I'm not trying to hear this Georgia mess. They got a good defense. We got a good defense. We got just as many players as they got that can get to the quarterback. Mm-hmm. I'm not buying this Georgia mess.
I'm not either.
I don't want to hear nothing about this Georgia mess. First, it's too early, and I can tell you right now, we won't be playing them 2 times. We won't be playing. We'll whoop their butt in December at that SEC championship, and that's going to be the end of that.
That'll be the end of that. All right, last comment before I go back to the phones. I believe you. Look,
my last comment, Mick, is I need you to tell Tony Sukalis a favor.
Yeah.
I seen him prior to the spring game at that presser with Coach, and Coach almost took his head off. So I want you to tell him, leave Coach alone with those assuming questions. That's for Tony Sukalis, bro.
I love Tony. I'll pass that along, though. Hey, there was a guy named Ian Rappaport that used to cover Alabama, and Coach used to get him so bad, man. Like, I don't know if you know.
Yeah. I've been waiting to call in since the spring, Nick. I wanted to tell you, one of y'all.
Yeah.
Tell Tony Sukalis to leave Coach alone with those assuming questions.
Yeah, he don't like those, does he?
Almost got his head took off.
No. I feel sorry for Tony because you don't want to be on Coach. Ian Rappaport is the only guy I remember that could weather the Coach storm. Then he bolted to the NFL.
Nick, I've been waiting all offseason, man. You and Kyle know, man. Tell Tony Sukalis, man.
I will. Hey, roll tide, man. Thanks for calling in.
Roll Tide, man.
All
Have a
right,
good one,
all right,
man.
dude. See you. All right, listen, we're going back to the phones again because you guys are calling, and it's just this is what it's all about, man. It's been a long time. Thumbs up and hit the like and subscribe. Bring the bell as we hang out tonight. Who's this, and where you calling from?
Hey, this is Eric calling from Georgia. How we doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, nothing much, man. Hey, I just wanted to talk about the game, couple points. I mean, first off, it was just to me, it just seemed like it was too much hype for the game. I didn't see the Canes doing anything. I mean, when you go back and if you follow King, if you look at him last year, he wasn't that good, you know. And if you notice, anytime they talked about the Canes, the only person they said was his name.
Right.
They didn't talk about anything. All they talked about was the returning starters, but they were nameless. They really didn't talk anything about the wide receivers. They talked about the tight end. I get that, but I just saw a lot of hype. And then what happened is kind of what I thought was going to happen. Here you got a 6-year veteran. I mean, King is like, I don't know, he's been in the league for about 7 years now. And then you got Bryce. You got Bryce, who's first time starter, but the ceiling is a lot higher for Bryce. Not to mention King's coming off that ACL injury. So, and you can also tell they didn't want to use King, use him as a running threat. So he stayed back there. Give it up to our defense, of course. I mean, everything clicked. I mean, Anderson was a man child out there. I mean, we were just swarming. And I think that's when everybody saw, like, I think the hype was not real. Did you feel that way or not?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I was honestly surprised at how bad Miami looked. I mean, I thought with all of the guys that were coming back from last year's team that didn't lose many games, I thought they would definitely play better. I was worried after about the second quarter that King would get hurt. And I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see him get his knee hurt again. But Alabama's defense was like a pack of hungry dogs. They were in the backfield like King had the steak in his hand. I mean, they swarmed him the entire game. Miami brought back all but one of their starters on offensive line from last year. They lost their right guard. And Alabama just they went right through them like a hot knife through butter. And I just wanted to see, like, I want Miami to have a good season now that we took care of them, right? And I was worried, like, man, these guys are going to get hurt. Like King had that play where he was kind of banged up, and I'm thinking, like, God, the last thing you want to see is him mess that knee up again, But Alabama's defense up front is stout, and Miami wasn't ready for it.
I saw that too.
Yeah, I just didn't think they were ready for it.
No, I don't think they were ready. I think we had a lot of. They probably thought we had some new faces on the defense, and maybe they thought they had a chance there. And I mean, I don't know, man. Hey, go back and look at the presser of the Canes after the loss, man. I mean, listening to King talk, listening to the defense, listening to the offense. I mean, they look like their soul had been snatched from their body. And guess what? They believe the hype too. Yeah. I mean, seriously, of course, that's what you want. I mean, if you're a competitor, you think that you're supposed to have a chance. Like, hey, we can run with the best of them. But I don't think they saw this outcome going. I don't think they saw it going this way. On another side, looking at our team a little bit closer. Defense is, it's everything I thought it was going to be. Offensively, I think the first thing, we're going to look at is probably trying to just shore up that offensive line. The first thing Coach said was like, hey, a lot of guys were kind of injured throughout fall camp.
Right.
We really didn't have time to gel. You saw some switching, of course you saw some guys, I think the center moved to the tackle. So we're still moving some pieces around, but it's there. And I think the Canes thought that they could rattle Bryce. They was like, oh, yeah, first-time starter. We're going to get him off that X. And that was what they said in the presser. They was like, that was our game plan,
right?
Is to make him throw on the run. Well, they did that, and it went bad for him,
yeah.
So, hey, man, really appreciate the show. You guys are doing really good. and Roll Tide.
Hey, thanks for calling in. Roll Tide, man. Great call. I agree, man. Bryce Young he's got the look. I mean, he's amazing. Like and subscribe as you hang out with us here on the Bama Insider YouTube channel as we talk about Alabama and Miami from last night. We'll be moving forward to Mercer soon. But let's go back to the phone lines again. Who's this and where you calling from?
It's your boy Heath from Greenbrier, Tennessee.
What's up, dude?
How you doing, brother? Man, the Canes are back. The Canes are back. They're back to getting their teeth caved in by the Crimson Tide. I mean, they must have ate the rat poison, bro. I mean, I don't – I didn't get a chance to watch it. We were doing an event. But, I watched it, but I didn't get to watch it like I normally pay attention. And I just watched the first half on the way back, and it was just complete domination. I mean, you guys at last caller was talking about King, how – I mean, that kid's like 24 years old, and, good for him for coming back. But man, that offensive line, you just said they brought back 4 to 5 starters, and they just like hot knife through butter, bro. I mean, it was impressive to say the least. So, I mean,
look, Keith, I'll tell you this, man, you go into a game like this and you're Alabama and you're rebuilding your offense. We knew the defense was going to be good, maybe great. But to have that offense come out there and score, they scored 17 points so fast that 22 that I got from Pearl River Resort. I mean, I'm in the second quarter going, okay, yeah, I just wasted $20. I thought Miami would keep it within 3 touchdowns and a point. And by the second quarter, I'm going, okay, yeah, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, it was just, it's just rinse and repeat, man. A buddy of mine, I called to kind of catch up with him on it. I didn't get to see Coach Chizik talking about it on SEC or HCC, whatever the studio show they do is, which I love Coach Chiz, by the way. As a Bama grad, I still love that guy.
Right, he's good on TV. Yeah,
he's just so good, man, and he's a good person on top of that. But he said it's just like Bama just took a couple of weeks off and just hit play again.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell Melanie, my fiance, how different it is from the time when we were there.
Dude.
It's like, it's just like, I told her the story about Coach Price and all of it. And it's just like, what? You can't, people that don't know the history of Alabama football, even in the last 20, 30 years, they don't understand how low we were. And that's why Tennessee fans can still have hope. That's why Georgia fans, I don't even go down the Georgia route, but Tennessee, living up here in Tennessee, I have a lot of relatives who are Tennessee fans, and I'm confident that they're going to get back eventually. They got it, but back to Bama, it was just, a wealth of riches. We're going to tell, I don't have any kids, but I'm an uncle to a lot of my friends' kids. And we're going to look back on this, just like my uncle looked back on the 70s, watching the complete domination that Coach Bryant ran. And we've talked about this ad nauseum. We never thought we'd see anything like it. Coach Saban, the GOAT, and I never thought I'd say that other than Coach Bryant, but, it's just it's nice to see, man.
Dude,
I'm,
let me
really just excited.
Right, let me stop you because I want you to tell. First off, Gelato, thank you for the super chat, man. And you guys are the best in the business. I love hanging out with you. Sunday night's kind of our night to get together. We kind of process everything. We're keeping an eye on Notre Dame, Florida State, and we're just kind of going back over the game. We do this every Sunday night, so make sure you hang out with us here on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. We've kind of made that a regular thing, all right? Heath and I went to school together at Alabama, and we used to do these college radio shows together, which were pre-game shows for Alabama football. We wanted to Alabama.
Well, hey, let me interject real quick, Nick. You're not giving yourself enough credit. You were the sports director for the WVUA, the student radio station, and you took it to the next level. And I was your right-hand man.
You were.
And we had a blast. Some of the best times of my life.
Oh, yeah, dude. Me too, man. Thanks, brother. Right, dude. We took it seriously, man. And we're still doing it now. But what I want you to tell everybody is that there's people here that probably don't remember we used to lose to Tennessee and we used to lose to Auburn, which I'm sure you probably remember that. But what's going on right now is just it's sick, man. Like, I can't even believe it. Like, I'm watching the game yesterday and I'm like just shaking my head like the dude had figured it out again. Now they might lose. Like, look, there's a chance they're going to lose a game here or there,
Sure.
you know. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's not supposed to be like this. But they found a way to make it that way.
I mean, well said and agreed. I mean, remember Coach Fran? You know, we thought we had the best thing since sliced bread when that head case rolled in.
Yeah.
I mean, and then, of course, Coach, look, I love Mike Shula. I really do. I mean, the biggest, somebody was talking about on the sports show I was listening to the other day, what's the biggest sports show? I think it was Matt McLaren. He was talking about what's the biggest event you've ever seen, witnessed personally. And for me, it was the 85 Iron Bowl. I was actually there. I think I've told you this story.
Oh, Van
my
Tiffin
cousin was being recruited. Yes, he was highly recruited. And we were, my cousin, Coach Perkins, was there. My cousin was a 5-star defensive end. And his little sister, they had 4 seats to the game at Legion Field. And 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, his little sister decided not to go to the game. And I got the call. And I was in the 8th grade. And I said, well, you know what? Of course I'm going. And I sat next to Freddie Wagan's aunt. And I'm digging deep here for some older callers might not know what I'm talking about. But Freddie Wagan was like, he had 6 red shirts, I think, at Auburn. I mean, great redheaded kid, wide receiver. But I just remember sitting next to his aunt. And when Van Tiffin ran out on the field to kick, of course, Coach Mike Shula got us down there, along with Al Bell and Greg Richardson. And when Tiffin kicked that, right before he put his toe to the leather, she looked over and said, "There's no way that little boy's going to make that kick." And I watched it sail through, and it was instant pandemonium. I get chills talking about it right now.
Yeah.
And I've witnessed some great sporting events, but to come from, see Bama growing up, being this solid 80s, I got to witness. And in the 90s, of course, was a mixed bag. To see what's going on in the last, 15 years has Coach Saban been there now?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
It's incredible. It's just, and to see how down it was in the early 2000s, we were there. And that fateful decision that Coach Moore made to take the jet down to Miami and wait on the tarmac, talking. And I hate people think that Coach Saban lied in that press conference. He didn't. He at the time when he just got off the field, he didn't know that Miss Terry was sitting talking to Coach.
Love Miss Terry, by the way. Meat. I love. Yeah, his nickname to us is Meathead because he's a Marine. I love Miss Terry. Thank you, Miss Terry.
She needs a statue next to Coach Saban, and I'm not kidding. But no, man, it's great. I just want to call in. Thanks for letting me know. I'm going to turn into a regular caller, especially on a Sunday. It's a great time to just kind of recap everything. I'm sitting here watching my Dodgers. I don't know what the heck happened to Walker Buehler. Somebody spiked his freaking Gatorade or something. And
what's the score in that game, by the way?
It's freaking 6-1, man, or 6.
I thought it was 1-0 Dodgers, so they kind of fell apart, huh?
Yeah, it's 6-2. It's like, what the hell? It's those blue uniforms they're wearing, I think.
I like
those. And of course,
though.
Watching this Notre Dame Florida State game, man, I'm of course pulling for Florida State because if it's Notre Dame and Iraq, I'm pulling for Iraq.
That's a long time Alabama rival right there. Notre Dame, back when Bear couldn't beat them. It just had some bad luck against them.
People don't know that.
Yeah, had some bad luck against them. Dude, it's always great to hear from you, man. Thanks for calling in.
Likewise, brother. Hey, man, great show. You guys are killing it, and I'll look forward to talking to you next week.
All right, roll tide, Heath. All right, let's do a couple more calls before we get out of here tonight, because I know if I stay on too long, I'm going to be getting a call from the man Kyle himself, like, "Hey, what are you doing?" But it's just so good to hear from you guys. I promise you, I've enjoyed this more than I thought I would, and I knew it was going to be a good time. Who's this, and where you calling from?
Hey, this is Corey calling from Trustwell, Alabama.
What's up, man? I know you. How you been?
I'm doing great. Man, that was a great game yesterday. I was actually surprised at how the offense was clicking. Before going into the week, I was concerned about the offensive line, of how they would hold up, and they held up pretty well. I mean, was it perfect? No, because the running game wasn't crisp, but it was good enough to get the job done. But the injuries, I mean, have you heard anything about Henry T? Like, do you think he'll play against Mercer, in your opinion?
Look, what I've heard about Henry T is that he's going to be fine. I don't know that he'll play against Mercer. I think that's, from what I understand, that's kind of up in the air, but he's going to be all right. So that's good news, because Henry T is, wow. I mean, I might have to get a number 10 just to be like Henry T. I might have to get a number 10 jersey. He might be my favorite Bama player.
So you think they might just hold him out against Mercer and save him for Florida?
I mean, I'm if they could, they could, because I don't know the extent of the injury, but that's what I was told. It's not like I heard it from Nick Saban, but somebody told me that he's going to be fine.
Do you know what the injury is?
What I understand is it's like a bruised elbow.
Oh, bruised elbow. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was told. So.
Do you think Christopher Allen's injury will cost us in the end?
I think Christopher Allen will be back. If it just depends. That's another thing. They don't really disclose a lot of this stuff, but it's significant. Significant to me means that maybe he needs surgery. But a lot of that stuff you come back from. It's a shame too, because he was poised to have a big season. And it stinks because the play didn't even look like he did anything. I mean, just blow up Miami.
I was watching the play. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, it just looked like he was just blowing up a Miami play.
Well, there were so many players in the pile, you couldn't really see it. And then you thought that Derek King took the worst of it, but it was really Christopher Allen. And when I saw him limping, I was like, that ain't good. And then I didn't hear anything for a while. And then when I saw him on the card, I was like, yeah, that ain't good. But hopefully it something good will come out of it. But, for this, anytime you play these games like Alabama's about to play this week, the number one thing you want is to come out of there healthy. I mean, because Alabama's going to win the game and win pretty big. The number one thing you just want to come out of there healthy. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, no, I agree. Especially when they got on those guys so fast. Like I said, I was at Pearl River Resort. I took Miami in 22, never thinking Miami was going to win, but I thought, I thought Alabama would probably win by 18, 19. Never thinking that Alabama was going to just destroy them. And it's because Miami had so many players coming back. And then they added Charleston Rambo, who is, an elite receiver from Oklahoma, who I thought was always a really good player. They had their entire offensive line back. The Eric King, I figured he was a Heisman hopeful. And Alabama was just better by far on both sides of the ball. It wasn't even close. Yeah, the defense was just swarming, and offensively, Bryce Young looked comfortable. He didn't look rattled and just relaxed. And when it was 41-3, I was like, didn't expect this. But then it's funny when you say that too, by the way. Do what? I'm sorry. I said it's just funny to hear you say that when it was 41-3. Whatever it was. Just ridiculous, man. Well, I don't want to say Alabama took their foot off the gas. I think they got, like Sampson, got a little sloppy because they kind of wasn't moving the ball as much and kind of let Miami kind of move the ball on the field a little bit. But it was a great win. Now we got to move on to Mercer and just, like I said, get out of there healthy, and then got a big game against Florida because that'll be a big time game when that game comes around. Yeah, it will be. Well, it will be. All right, last comment before I got to get 2 more calls in before I wrap it up. I'm going to watch the second half of this Notre Dame Florida State game. But great to hear from you. It really is. Final comment. Well, great to hear from you. Great to hear from you too. looking just one step closer to championship number 19. They got to take it one game at a time, and I'm just enjoying this season because one thing I loved about this weekend is seeing the fans in the stand because, last year with the way the fans, how it looked, it just, especially, I don't know, even did you see the Virginia Tech game?
Yeah, I did.
Crowd,
I did.
That just brought joy to me.
Me too.
All the fans in the stands, that's really what made me happy.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. We'll roll Tide and let's do it again next Sunday.
Good talk to you. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Yeah, 2 more calls before we wrap it up. But it's great to hear from all you guys. And like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell. Make sure that you are part of the Bama Insider Nation. And, we do these shows, and we're going to be with you every Sunday night. Tomorrow we got Monday Night Quarterback, Tony Tsoukalas, Andrew Bone, Trey Yanity, Kyle Henderson. We get together and we try to bring you the best coverage as far as Alabama football is concerned. All right, let's go back to the phones again. Who's this and where you calling from?
Oh, hi. My name is Donald. I'm calling from Long Island, New York.
What's up, man? A Bama fan in Long Island?
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, Roll Tide. I love them. I've been a Bama fan for probably over 10 years now.
That's awesome, man. My college roommate went to high school this is at Alabama at Ward Melville High School. Did I get that right? In Long Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Melville High School?
Yeah. Is it called Ward Melville or something? I don't know, but she went to school there.
I think I don't know. I don't know about that school. I'm thinking of a different school.
Tell me
Malvern. I thought you said Malvern for a second.
No. It was like 2 names, like Ward Melville or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm probably wrong on both of them, but she was from Long Island. Yeah, I remember talking about Long Island and her coming to Alabama from up there. But yeah, man, welcome to the party. What'd you think about the game?
Yeah, thank you. What I want to say, when it comes to Bryce Young, I'm not gonna say that that I knew that we would win by this many points. I thought it was gonna be probably a 18 to 20 point win for us, or maybe a little lower than that. But when I think about it, Bryce Young was the number 1 ranked quarterback in the nation coming into Bama last season. He was ranked ahead of DJ from Clemson. So this kind of performance that he did, that's something that he was always capable of showing, when you're ranked that high. And plus he also had, when you're ranked that high and also having the luxury of sitting and learning behind Mac Jones, you're going to go out and ball in your first season as the starter. So I was so happy to see that because it went by smooth. I thought he would struggle just a little bit, but that wasn't the case at all. He was making the right reads. He was very accurate with the ball, and it's when a defender was coming at him to try to sack him, he would somehow slither out of that with his speed and just either throw the ball away or throw it to another guy to get some yards. So that's something that kind of playmaking ability is what a 5-star recruit is supposed to do. And I'm just glad that we finally, I'm not going to say finally because we've had so many great quarterbacks before him, but I'm just glad that we have that guy. We're still able to have that kind of guy at quarterback,
right,
despite losing so many other greats to the NFL.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say that about Bryce Young.
Look, I think he's great.
I'm sorry, but he's gonna be a first round draft pick if he keeps playing this way.
I don't doubt that, man. I think the guy's just destined for greatness. You know, in all those years of Alabama football, there's been some awesome quarterbacks over the years, Joe Namath and Bart Starr, and Jay Barker, our buddy Jay, was a great quarterback. And then all these guys that have been here lately, Snake Stabler, you can't forget about him. And I mean, you can go through and there's a bunch of them, but this Bryce Young, I think Bryce Young's going to be right there with all of those guys when it's all said and done. He just has the look. He's got the charisma. He's got the personality. He's got the brain. This guy's I love a dual threat guy. Just love him.
Yeah, and another thing is that he seems to be pretty good with the media as well.
Oh, look, it's like sweat off of a duck. It's like water off a duck's back to him. That's him being him. He doesn't even have to try at that. You can tell he's a natural.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that you want talking to the media. I was saying that before. I don't know if you saw it. Just as an Alabama grad, I mean, forget about this part of it. The part where I'm just a guy that pulls for Alabama. I love it when the players represent the university in a way where you go, okay, man, this guy is here not only just to play football, but he's here because he's smart and he just exudes intelligence. I love that. I love that. That's what college is all about, learning. I mean, forget about the football aspect of it. And this guy's really smart.
What you need in the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, leading your program.
The quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing with me is that I've always had great quarterbacks who are good with the media for any team that I root for.
Right.
When it comes to Bama and also when it comes to my New York Giants with Eli Manning.
Oh yeah.
And now with Daniel Jones. And, but here at Bama, I got Bryce Young, who's, he seems to have the complete package.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, look, it was great to hear. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Just one last question. I wanted to ask you, do you think that we have Xavier McKinney's replacement in Malachi Moore?
Oh yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah. Malachi Moore to me is legit, man. And it's hard when the defense is as good as these guys are. It's hard to focus on the one guy, But Malachi Moore, he's excellent. I mean, he's going to make some really big plays before this season's over. He's going to have some pick sixes. He's going to have a scoop and score. He's going to do some crazy stuff before it's all said and done. And that's nuts how Alabama just kind of finds the next guy.
And you see, the thing with Malachi Moore is that I was so glad, it brought a smile to my face when last season when Tyrann Mathieu actually compared himself to Malachi Moore.
Oh, you're talking about Honey Badger.
Yeah, Honey Badger. That's how good Malachi Moore is.
Yeah.
When you have an all-pro safety like that comparing himself to a young up-and-coming, defensive back like Malachi Moore, that should just bring a smile to your face as a fan.
Yeah, it does. It does. I remember watching Honey Badger. I was at the games when he was there. I was at both games that we lost, the game we lost and then the game we won, the game of the century and then the national championship game. I was watching AJ McCarron thread the needle over top of him in the dome, sitting there right at about the 50-yard line, second deck. One of the best experiences I've ever had at an Alabama game. But I have a lot of respect for Honey Badger. He's legit, man. He's a really good player in the NFL. And those guys watch, I've watched games with Mike Johnson, who I used to work with, doing games and it makes you realize how little I know about football. Then just watching the way that Mike would just talk about the offensive line and where everyone was supposed to be. And he's coaching football now, and that's probably where he needs to be because he's teaching other kids, other players, kind of that sharing that knowledge. But just one of the smartest dudes I've ever been around, not just in football, but in general. And those guys know, man, they know the game, they know the position, so, not surprised at all. I remember when Honey Badger said that, and Malachi can play. He can just straight up play. He's a ball hawk.
He's gonna be a first round pick when he's done at Bama.
Yep. Well, look, great to talk to you. Final thought before I finish up. I'm going to take one more call, and then and that's going to be it for the night. But what final thing? Throw it out there.
Good to hear from you, guys.
Hey, roll Tide up there in New York. All right.
Roll Tide. Mm-hmm.
Long Island Roll Tide. That's going way out. All right, final call of the night as we talk about Alabama's dominant win over Miami. Like and subscribe. That's the way you say Roll Tide to us as we hang out on a Sunday night. And we'll be back next Sunday. Also, T-Love, thank you for the super sticker and all of you guys that threw out the super chats tonight. Like T-Love, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much. I've had so much fun catching up with all of you guys and talking Alabama football. All right, who's this and where you come from?
It's Uncle Charles from Alabama.
Roll Tide, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing real good, man. You know what I saw yesterday, and I said this on Stephen M. Smith. I said on the week before last week. I said, if there'll be a hurricane coming to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and the hurricane came and it left. And the only thing is that Miami is the one that got swept up out of there. I keep telling these people, while everything was shut down, Nick Saban was still working. I saw Nick Saban at the beginning of the year during the AD game. He wore a nice pink blazer. Only real players can wear that. Mm-hmm. And stay away from Alabama.
Right.
That game would change Miami's season. That would change the season. They won't win 5 ball games because they ruined now. You messed with the wrong team. You should have told the athletic director, well, we're going to play Alabama. Wait a minute. No, you're going to put Montana State on there. Don't do that. But no, they want to come down there with that Miami swing. And they got swung on. And they got beat. Let me tell you something, man. The hardest thing is to go trick-or-treating and the people come to the door and they smile and they ain't got no teeth. Then you know you don't want that candy. And I'm going to say this one more time for the people in the cheap seats. Georgia, I don't care nothing about Georgia. I got my own personal reason why I don't like Georgia, but Georgia should know better. You're going to talk about you're a national champion and you didn't score one offensive touchdown? You didn't get one touchdown. The only score you got was a field goal and a defensive play. Now, their defense is real good. I give it to them. But let me tell you something. When Alabama scored 51, you better score 52. Mm-hmm. You better score 52. So now I'm going to say this in closing. 2 things you don't do. You don't mess with Alabama, and you don't go into a 7-Eleven after 12 o'clock. You don't do it. You just don't. And that's all I got to say, man. I appreciate you letting me come on. But from now on, you know it's Uncle Charles. And when I come with the fire. And I come with the real good. And I'm going to stay away from Alabama. I'm telling all college football teams, if you want to continue your season, stay away from Nick Saban. Please. Because he ain't there to play with.
Uncle Charles, man, this is the perfect way to end this show. Roll Tide, my friend.
Roll Tide, baby.
And call in next week, Sunday night. We're going to do it again next Sunday. All of you guys that hung out with us tonight, I appreciate hanging out with you. I've had a great night. Look, this was going to be an hour, but you guys called in. You brought the gas. We had a lot to talk about. And this was like I told you early in the show, this was kind of like that family barbecue. We haven't seen each other in a long time. All my cousins were here. My aunt was here. My uncle and, my old neighbors. Everybody got together. We talked Alabama football. Love all you guys. What a game for Alabama. Let me remind you, too, that like and subscribe to the BamaInsider YouTube channel. We're going to be here every Sunday night. Monday night quarterback is tomorrow night. Jarvis, Roll Tide, man. Great to hear from you. Make sure you're there for that. Kyle's going to have all of his stuff going on. You got Andrew Bone. All of us will be here throughout the week covering the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Big win over Miami. Mercer coming up this Saturday. I'm Mick Gillispie. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys, and Roll Tide.